Hi, this is Cindy from Part-Time Permies, and today we need to do a little more work on this tractor Coop. Well, today, think about working on some jobs that are more easily done with only one person. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting together a ramp that I could store underneath here on the frame while I'm moving the tractor, and then I can pull out and have coming down from this doorway. And I need something that props up the tongue of this trailer, something sawhorse style. I'd have to work that out. I'm wondering if a board like this would work. I just had this laying around. It's scrap from another project. The idea is that maybe I'll put on the back side of this, put a board across the top, maybe one across the bottom, so that when not in use, I can pretty much hook there and not slide around too much, so that when I'm moving this from place to place, it can be up. And then I can just slide it out and open it up when I get it settled in its own place. I'm probably going to put some more, maybe 1x2s or a scrap board, narrow scrap pieces across near where these ridges are, just so they have a little more foothold. So I'm going to try to do this just strictly out of scrap wood and not the wood I purchased, because those larger pieces I want to use for roofing and things. But we'll see what we can do with that. I did find a piece of wood that I think I could put on the underside. And the idea is this is just going to stop it from sliding around when it's tucked up and under. And will also hopefully stop it from pulling out too far, so it'll catch on the metal lip of the trailer. So I'm thinking we'll have one like this in the front, or at the top, and I'll cut this one down to do the same thing at the bottom. These don't really need to go quite all the way across. See if we can save ourselves a little bit of the wood. That should do it. Doesn't have to be exact. I think I'll put the steps up first, and then we'll do the back pieces afterwards. And these will just pretty much line up with the grooves. So we'll do a pilot hole in each end of one of these. So since these screws are just barely long enough to go beyond this board, I'm going to still use them, but I'm going to try to sink them into their holes a little bit, just so it goes into this piece underneath a little bit better, a little further. So instead of picking a screw that'll stick out the other end, I'm going to see if I could get this to work. But it's not usually too hard to sink them. You try not to sink them most of the time too far, but in this case we'll do it. think we're good. Okay, got it. They're good. Glad I didn't have to go out and make a trip just for a handful of screws. But tells me I should probably have 1.5 inch screws on hand, but I don't. 2-inch screw, if we countersink it, it's going to stick through just a little bit with that board. So I'll run into the same thing with this, but I think we'll still use it. We'll just try to avoid countersinking it. So pilot holes to get us started. Again, double check the diameter of the screw. I think those are actually the same diameter as my 1.25 inch. They're a little skinnier, but that's all right. We really just need to grip into the board behind it. We're not putting any major weight on this. It's really just to hold this board in place so it doesn't slide out. Come through. We're good. That tongue right now is sitting at about 20 inches up, so it does not need to be any higher than that. In fact, it could be a little bit less than that potentially, because the angle it's on is a decent angle. I'll probably aim for 20 inches just to give myself some leeway. So if I cut 45s off the bottom and off the top, the whole thing is to put these together, A-frame, and then have 2 sets of those and a board like this running in between horizontally. So this will be that way. That's a pretty wide angle. I guess another question is, do I bring it up? What happened if we did 30 on either end? They're definitely too tall. I think my rigged up technique might work. I'm just going to cut that one. Need about 10 inches shorter, actually. It's about 20 inches even. So I'm going to use this as my template. Okay, got the steep angle. It should end up being 60 and 30 because it should end up to adding to 90. The problem is on this saw I can't really do a 60-degree angle. It's pretty much close enough, so again, it doesn't have to be perfect because all I need is it to hold together in the end. So I'm going to do another 30 at the other end. I'm going to use the 3-inch screws, and I'm going to put this slightly off center of the other leg so I don't hit any of the screws coming from the other side. Should be just fine. And that way I get a better grip on the board beneath. Slightly wobbly. So I think that board went on an angle, but you know what? It's not going to matter. All it needs to do is be able to hold the tongue. So the tongue's coming on this angle. As long as I can shove it under the tongue, we're good. So I think we should try it out. Remind me not to do that when I have the ramp out next time. Okay, so could shove this back as far as we want it to be. I think this works. We can actually adjust the angle if we need it to be a little bit steeper angle. So if I'm on a slight pitch anywhere, I could move this closer to be on a steeper angle. If I want to decrease the angle, I could pull it out. Ramp. Can't really come out more than that. So I think we're pretty good. It seems to be holding. If you look, we still have a little bit of an angle here. So we have a little bit of a pitch for water runoff. I could almost sit on that. Yep, pretty much. So, sun's going down. Still need to do quite a bit for doors and roof, but I have next weekend and I have help next weekend, so I think we got this part done. Looking a little more like a coop. I guess we'll see you with the next video.